Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So, I don't know if you know or if you've noticed, I've been pretty quiet across just about every platform for a little while. And I'm not quite ready to share why I've been quiet, but it's just one of those things that had to happen. And I'm happy to be back. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited because I am using my new deck that I've created, version 2.0, and I'm really proud of it. I'm really happy with it, but I'm already working on version 3. So ever evolving, just like me, just like the playlist that I have. So I do have music that accompanies this. I learned in one of my other readings that YouTube's really good at listening, so I have to turn it way down. So I'll announce songs if they're important. I'll probably include the songs in the information below. If you haven't already liked, shared, or subscribed to any of the videos, I hate to ask for it, but it's a good reminder. And as always, I am not going to edit this. I am one straight shooter, and this is what you get. So thank you so much if you're curious or just looking to hear a story. Thanks for coming. If you are nosy and have nothing good to say, move it along. Go back to the YouTube mall and find somebody you do want to listen to. And if it's not me, that's fine, because I believe that I have certain messages that I'm going to deliver a certain way for certain people. And that's why I always go back to the same idea, the same overlapping umbrella term, nothing is coincidence. So right now it's raining. I'm in a new spot, if you can't tell. So I'm just adjusting, ever evolving, ever adjusting, rolling with it, because that's, what else can you do? So this is all a new setup. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've done a reading, and I'm just really curious to see what comes out. But yeah, we're starting with fresh decks. All my decks are fresh sorted. I don't know what I'm going to use yet, but the first thing I do, as always, is figure out how many skips I need to do to get our playlist shuffle going. So, if you don't know how I read, I only take cards if they flip or fall. So we have 4 plus 7 plus 13, 24, 33. That's going to be 7. Aw, my brother's band. It's called Crossroads. So that's cool because Crossroads in Lenormand Tarot is options. It's a lot of options. It's having multiple choices, deciding which way to go. But it's kind of like an obvious choice, and I equate it to the Two of Swords, which is a very head-heart decision. This is a ska band. They're called Millington. Check them out. They're my brother and his friends, and they're awesome. The first time I listened to them, I cried because I was like, oh my god, I've been missing out on this for so long. So if you're a ska, if you like to skank, I think that's what it's called, check it out. It's really good. But I just want to get our structure, our framework, and we'll go from there. So what is powering the situation? Other than choices, apparently. What is powering? You're right, I should shuffle. Also, in my deck, if they're reversed, it doesn't mean normally reversed like the other cards do. I feel like they'll come out if they really need to. I don't usually like to take reversals. So if it's reversed, that means that it's happening to somebody else. Somebody else is making a decision. Somebody else is stuck. It's not the querent or me or whoever. It's somebody else. So let's see what we got here. I love this deck so much more. I love how much better they shuffle than my first version. Oh, okay, so we have 2. What's powering the situation? Someone is being greedy, and because somebody is being greedy, somebody else is staying secluded. Somebody else is hiding something, somebody else is keeping to themselves. That's interesting, because it's kind of like both people are keeping to themselves. So in my deck, greed is also the 4 of Pentacles, Capricorn, and the seclusion is also the 8 of Swords, which is a Gemini card. So maybe it's, one or both of those energies. I include a lot of information on my card because, again, I believe nothing is coincidence. So what is changing the situation? Somebody else's partnership. Somebody else's partnership is changing. Somebody else's loyalty is changing. Ooh, all right. So what is blocking the situation? Experience. And the experience in my deck is also the Emperor. So if I'm going to tie this all in, and I still have to pull 2 more cards, what's going to come to light in the situation, what's going to be balanced in the situation. But just based on the original song that's playing, I feel like somebody is making a serious decision. I mean, maybe they're in a relationship and 2 people are kind of, you know, at a stalemate in a way. They're kind of keeping their feelings closed. They're kind of keeping themselves closed off. And maybe one person is respecting the fact that somebody else is in a partnership. But that seems to be changing because for me, the partnership is also lovers. It's also the dog, the number 18 Lenormand card. So that's all really interesting. All right, so what's going to come to light in this situation? Humility, somebody else's humility. So this is also, what is it, a law of karma. Because the law of karma regarding humility states that you have to accept something before it can change. So maybe somebody, perhaps an emperor, which is, you know, half of a divine counterpart, or somebody who's really experienced, an authoritative figure, somebody who gets to make the decisions. Maybe somebody is finally accepting a situation as it is. Maybe somebody's finally accepting that, like, this original partnership isn't, you know, meant to be. Because that's what's changing a partnership based on experience. Okay. So what's going to come to balance in this situation? Humility. This is too many cards, but I'll take them all. So we have introspection in reverse, which is somebody else going within, somebody else going in to figure out what they need, what they want, because it's also the Hermit card in my deck, which is interesting. This we have Clint Eastwood, but the Trey Anastasio version. Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Ooh, all about the seclusion, and the 8 of Swords is about being in a cage. Like in the deck, I can picture the cards. I know there's a reason I don't have the actual cards on here, the images. It's a reason why I've done it the way I have. But this is interesting. So what's going to come to balance is somebody else has gone within. Somebody else has kind of done their inner work to figure out what makes them happy, what is going to light their path moving forward. Somebody else somebody else kind of rolls with the changes. Somebody else, based on the options, we got mutable and options. And this is also 7 of Cups, which is options, illusions, having multiple choices, almost overwhelming confusion. And it's not necessarily bad, because sometimes the 7 of Cups can be a good thing. I like to look at it as like a super well-rounded person, or it's like, the thing that came to mind was a piñata, because you never really know what you're going to get. You just know that there's a bunch of stuff inside. But right now, it seems like somebody else figured out what they need. I'm picturing the Hermit. He's got his own lantern, a lot like that one above my head. And it's ruled by Virgo, so it's alone, it's internal, it's secluded. And this person seems to kind of change based on what's available. What they need to do, what they need to live is kind of ever evolving, but not in a positive sense. Both these cards are red, which signifies negative to me. This is a positive, and it's another layer to my deck. But the other thing about the mutable card is that it's the law of transmutation. And that states that energy is always transforming and evolving. That's really what it is. Nothing, energy is never, what is it? It's never destroyed. It's always changed or evolved. So I feel like somebody, because this card's in reverse, which means it's happening to somebody else, somebody knows what they need to do. And somebody else is maybe trying to change their way of doing things, trying to change what they want to be. And this is also the Queen of Wands here. And the snake, if you see that. That's also the snake in Lenormand, which is an enemy. So maybe somebody is trying to keep somebody kind of stuck. And with normal on the bottom, and it's in reverse, that means that it's normal for the other person. This is all they've seen. Maybe this is what their experience is, and maybe after going within, they figured out, like, nah, that's not what I want to do. That's not how I want to be. That's not what I'm about. And that's really important, because it's just as important to know what you don't want as what you do. And I stand firm with that. So that's kind of cool. Normal in my deck is also the law of relativity, which is, it's all relative. It's not new, it's normalized. And a lot of people normalize bad behavior, just like we normalize, singing about sex all the time, even though it's not necessarily the best thing to sing about, or we normalize the thing that came to mind. I hate to say it, and I'm sorry to say it, but how desensitized have we become to like mass shootings? It's sad. It's just as sad every time. I'm not saying that, but we just keep hearing about it, so it doesn't have that impact anymore. It's like, oh, there's another one, and we just keep saying, it's a big problem. Why can't we fix the problem? But it's just normal. They're used to it. It's their experiences. So that's all really interesting. This next song that's on is by Flamingo. It's called Domingo's Drive, and it's great. Flamingo was a great find. This is more of an instrumental, but have you ever been to hell? I have. And so it sounds like this emperor, this person, whoever this hermit is in hell, and somebody's keeping him there. So with that, I'm gonna, vacillation. Vacillation is not being able to make up your mind. And I think this, again, it's another red card, another negative. I feel like it has to do with whoever this Queen of Wands is. And Queen of Wands is like magnetic and powerful, and she's charming, and she's, she's confident, and she's a go-getter, and she's passionate, and she's beautiful. I want to say a seductress, but she's also a fiery bitch sometimes. And so when I think of Queen of Wands, especially with options mutable, I feel like it's somebody who kind of guilt trips people into getting what they want, and then or makes them feel bad if they don't give her what she wants. So I do feel like this is a divine counterpart with a karmic. That's just what I'm feeling. Yeah, so I really want to clarify with my traditional gold deck. My cards all of these are freshly sorted, so I'm going to give them a really good shuffle, but they're all freshly ordered. I like to start fresh. So we'll give them a little bit of a shuffle. Domingo's Drive, my God. So Domingo's Drive actually flashes me back to Resonance Festival, and that was like one of the best times of my life. And I can't believe that we've gone a whole year without any festivals, without anything, without live music. I miss live music so much. All right, so 2 cards come out. I really didn't want to take them this early, but if they fall, I got to take them. And so we have the 7 of Cups and the 8 of Cups and the 9 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups it's my cutting your losses card. Like, walk away, barren field, bad soil, barren field is kind of how I get it. But it's also walking away even though you're really invested in something. Because cups are emotions. So if you're really, really invested, you put a lot of hard work into it, it's hard sometimes to walk away. But until you walk away, this is my smug motherfucker card. I know I shouldn't swear, but I do because I don't censor myself. That's part of what this is. I say what I want, and it's not going to be liked by everybody, but I'm sorry, and you're welcome. So the 9 of Cups is the wish fulfillment. The 9 of Cups is also like health to me. He's sitting pretty comfortable. He's happy. He's smug. Maybe he's a little drunk. I don't know. But he's comfortable, and that's what's important. I mean, 10 of Cups is like happy emotional fulfillment in every way, but the 9 of Cups is figuring out what you need. Again, with that hermit, so we got 2 9s, and my cards all have numbers, so I should have gone over those a little bit earlier, but it may not be important right now. Oh, What It's Like by Everlast. This song is really, really intense. Because it's all about really the duality. It's all about, I've seen a rich man beg. I've seen a tough man cry. So it's kind of like stepping out of what's normal. And maybe that's something like you got to cut your losses from what's normal. Do we have normal up here? Yeah, it was on the bottom of the deck. I'm sorry, I put it away. But we had normal, the law of relativity. So somebody may be in the process of reinventing themselves. But over here we have, to clarify what's powering the situation with greed and seclusion. Somebody needs to cut their losses before they can get their wish fulfillment, before whatever's for them can come in. And I think it's not necessarily going to come in immediately, but I do feel like it's something that's going to trigger healing. And I mean, the worst thing you can do is jump from one bad situation right into another one. I mean, a lot of people like to end one relationship and then go right into another. And I never understood how people could really do that because they left out the healing part, the processing part. And so I feel like this isn't necessarily what's going to trigger the magic to come in, the miracles to come in, but I do feel like this is going to be the start of a very important process of whoever this hermit is, whoever this emperor is, of kind of evaluating what didn't work in this partnership so that they can get their wish fulfillment in the next one. Hopefully this is the last time they do it wrong, because when you know better, do better. So again, this partnership is what's changing. I gotta do one more shuffle. That was a good one. This song is really intense. It covers a lot of ground. Maybe this couple has some really intense things that kept them together, but those things that kept them together, I mean, the line that was just talking or was just playing was about, you know, a woman who ended up pregnant and then the man bailed on her and she didn't want to keep the baby. So then she goes to the clinic, she gets some static walking through the door. That's definitely a partnership in reverse. That's definitely, if you're not supported in all the things that you need to do, especially something like that, that's a serious decision. We don't judge here. If that's what you got to do, I honor and trust that's what you need to do for you. We don't judge here. People have a lot to say about lives they haven't lived before. And only you know what's right for you. Only you know what you want, how you're going to get it. So it's really important for you to honor whatever it is you need to do. And I will never shun or badmouth anybody for doing that. I've been on both sides of it. And it all had to happen exactly as it did. I had to make my own choices for me. And it's hard, but it beats the alternative for sure. It beats living a life I'm not meant to live to please somebody else. So, with that said, sorry, that was a little bit of a digress. With that said, can I get a clarifier for this partnership? I used a kid named Max, used to get stacks on the corner with drugs. So tell me about this partnership. This is also loyalty in reverse. Juggling. So maybe somebody was unfaithful. Somebody had too much that they were dealing with. Maybe they were just trying to deal with what they need. It's not necessarily the right time for them to be in the kind of partnership or relationship they were in. But this is my juggling card. This is having, too many balls in the air. It's also a transfer of power. If you kind of see it's going right hand to left hand. Inability to prioritize. And they're pentacles, so that's like tangible things. Maybe somebody was overwhelmed with work and it got in the way of their partnership. And with healing on the bottom again, and you saw me shuffle, maybe somebody was trying to go right from one relationship to another one without doing what they needed to do. Or maybe somebody went to a new situation. They thought it was new, but it was all relative. It was just something they'd seen before. And it ended up being more of the same. And so now they're finally realizing, okay, this is infinity. This is ongoing forever. I need to do something differently. I need to break free of this. And a partnership isn't necessarily with a person. This partnership could be, the relationship with work. It could be the relationship with family. It could be the relationship with themselves. Their ego is what just popped into my head. Or maybe they just picked the wrong person. Maybe something wasn't fully healed. That's too many cards, but I'll look at them. So we have... This song is called Wild Horses by Bishop Briggs. And the first line is, you hold me down in the worst way. So to me, it looks like maybe somebody tried something, they gave it a second chance. So we have the Queen of Cups. And these fell out. I'm going to put them back in because this is way more than I want, but I got to look at them because they fell. So we have the Queen of Cups, the Chariot, the Eight of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. So I'll show you, because actually I mentioned this card earlier. The Eight of Swords, this is also my seclusion card. So just the quick is that I feel, someone used their emotions to fuel this confident, to move forward toward this situation, whatever it was, confidently. Utmost willpower. Maybe they were balanced and maybe somebody else wasn't. Especially because I have these two cards here. Maybe the female wasn't as healed as she thought she was, or maybe she manipulated the situation into giving it another go, another cycle, another try, and somebody else was convinced that they were healed. Somebody else was convinced that it might have been the right thing, but it was the same thing. And the only way to break the cycle is to change it, is to shift it, is to reprioritize what needs to be reprioritized. So what is blocking the situation? Emperor in reverse. Well, the Emperor is. Aries is aggressive. The Emperor is Aries energy, experience. What is blocking this situation? Keep damning the devil. These two flipped. We have, So we have a bunch that came out. We have the King of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, King of Wands, Five of Wands, Knight of Cups, and Seven of Wands. Okay, so the quick and dirty that I'm going to give you for this is somebody chose an opportunity because it was shiny golden. It seemed like a good investment. It seemed like a sure thing. He's a good businessman. But it was full of deception, of people being sneaky, of people doing petty things. The Seven of Swords is like petty energy to me, sneaky. And I'm sure, because we have, again, this is the Queen of Wands. That's what the clubs are, wands. So at one point, I'm sure that this King of Wands, it worked. At one point, it made sense. But people grow, and as people grow and go through lessons and make different choices, they mature. That's what we're supposed to do, and that's what happened. And I think that this King of Wands has become this Emperor. So this Emperor is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not this anymore. I don't want to be this anymore. It may have been a good idea in the past for the old me, but I'm a different person. Remember that cycle. And so it's been nothing but fighting, arguing, competition, conflict amongst lots of people. So maybe, friends have betrayed them or turned their back, or maybe it's, by leaving this one person or trying to step out of the situation, it pisses off a lot of people. But they've poured their heart into it. They've literally, this is the knight in shining armor. They've tried to do everything right. They've tried to adapt to the situation, tried to overcome, spoken their mind, been honest, outgoing, wholehearted. And it's still met with resistance. No matter what, it's always a fight. It's always a battle. And that's not how relationships are supposed to be. This song is called Honeybee by The Head and the Heart. You are the only one. And I love it because the two cards that actually fell out were the Hermit and the Four of Wands. So what I want to say here is it sounds to me like somebody has gone within. Remember, I already mentioned this guy with the light. See that light right there? He's lit his own way. He's gone within. He's reprioritized what makes him happy. What's going on in this partnership that doesn't work. Trying to try something new. And this is my Twin Flame card. 1111 Twin Flames, happy home. They're working together to build together. They're building an empire together. And that's the thing about the Emperor. I love that this came out with the Emperor because there's only one person. There's only one person. There's only one divine counterpart. And when I mentioned Karmic earlier, there are a lot of people that are here to teach you lessons. But there's only one divine counterpart for you. And I love that these came out together. What's blocking the situation is somebody can't move forward in this partnership because they've made up their mind about somebody else. They've switched their mind. They've made up their mind about somebody else. And they can't let it go. So humility, by the way, on the bottom of the deck right now, we have the Six of Pentacles, which is equal give and take. So maybe the tables have turned, or maybe it's time to give what they got. I'm not really sure. So out popped the King of Swords, and supporting it is the Knight of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Three of Cups. So with those cards, I feel like somebody's getting ready to take action. Somebody's accepted, because the law of humility, you can't accept, or you can't change something without first accepting it. So somebody is finally accepting that their heart is already taken. Their heart's already somewhere else. And that's lovely. I love that. But somebody's getting ready to take action. Somebody is planning and trying to figure out the best way to do it. That's what the Three of Wands is. He's planning a trip. And then we have the celebration union party card. Like, yay, we're together again. And the song Wishing Well by Jason Spooner is playing right now. But the humility is he now needs to walk back like a dog with his tail between his legs because he made a mistake. And he's been fighting a really tough battle for the wrong person. He doesn't look like the kind of guy who wants to walk back and apologize either. But that's what he has to do. So that's really out of character for him. Doesn't mean he can't do it. This is part of growth. This is part of learning. It's got to happen. And I love this even more because we have strength on the bottom. And this is all about, there's that everlasting. This is all about unconditional love to me. Confidence, fortitude, for lack of a better term, or that's what came to mind, even though that's not necessarily what it is. But to me, this is the unconditional love card. This is taming the beast card. And what I really like about it is because I feel like he may fear that if he goes back to apologize, the divine counterpart is not going to be having it. But just like he has to do his work, she's been doing her work. She's tamed her beast too. Learning that there are two sides to every story. Three sides, actually. There's yours, theirs, and the truth. But unconditional love is somebody needs to go fight a different battle. And if they're willing to fight for somebody who doesn't deserve it, they should be more than willing to fight for somebody who's going to love them unconditionally. So, can I get clarifiers for what's going to come to balance in this situation? Ooh. What's going to happen for this hermit, this person who's hermited, and this person who's been kind of warping, twisting the situation, manipulating? Ooh, the lovers. This is true love. This is partnership. So you actually have the lovers twice, because see the sixes? In my deck, this is lovers. So we actually have a lot of repeating cards. That's like a double super confirmation for me. And the wishing well is playing right now. This is a wish come true. Somebody wants this. Somebody knows what they want, and it's this unity. It's this divine counterpart. So for the lovers to come out, I mean, of course the divine counterpart still loves them. Of course. And this is still on the bottom. Of course they still love them. It's their person. Just like they know there's only one for them, she knows there's only one for her. It goes both ways. They're feeling the same thing. That's part of what this divine counterpart is that you learn very similar lessons, very similar ways. But the outcome, what's going to come to balance is this partnership. And look, she's even extending her hand. She's like, yeah, come on down. Come on down. Let's talk about it. Bear, absolutely bear. I want the truth. And the angel above, that's Archangel Michael. This is protected. This can't, no matter what this person does, it cannot be tampered with because this is meant to be. This is so much bigger. That's the thing about twin flames. It's so much bigger than just like soulmates. Soulmates they're beautiful too. It's comfortable. It's and this is my take on it. I'm not gonna say this is dogma. This is not like whatever. But the world, everything is open to interpretation. And it's all based on your experiences, what you go through. We are a product of our environment, our upbringing. There are so many factors that create the beings that we are. And all of the situations that you encounter, so I expressed, karmic, that's a term I use. And it's somebody who's going to teach you lessons that only that person can teach you. It's somebody, they're hard lessons, but it's kind of like proving to you what path you need to be on. You know, it's proving to you what you choose to accept for love versus, you know, what the ego would call love. So maybe this person is really, really attractive, or they have a lot of money, or just hold a lot of power in some way. Maybe it is their experiences. Maybe they just have a really important history and somebody's having a hard time cutting their losses. But I've been in some tough situations, and the one thing that I've learned is that there is so much more to love than loyalty. There's so much more to love than just being there for somebody. Because if you're there all the time and that person doesn't treat you like they love you, and you accept it and you normalize it, I mean, by normalizing, by accepting that behavior, you teach them how to love you, even though if in your heart and in your mind and in your soul and in every aspect of your being, you know that's not what you call love. That's not what you want. That's not how you want your partner to see you, which is why I'm saying I feel like this person is just very manipulative. And you want authenticity. You want true love. That unconditional love. And that's where there's a difference between holding space for somebody and holding on to somebody. Because it's really hard, as you know, to watch somebody go through all of these life lessons. I mean, there's two parts, right? There's the divine feminine, divine masculine. The emperor's divine masculine. This would be a divine union. But there are two parts to it, and it's hard to sit stagnant and watch this person, remember, your person, because there's only one person that you love, really love, you know, go through this in another relationship, and maybe they try to hide it. They can't. You can't hide it. Because it's almost like the divine counterparts can kind of communicate. You can't hide it. So the balance that's going to come is a divine union, a divine partnership, at least an open conversation, a bare, authentic, raw conversation that has to happen. And maybe since they've, you know, taken that time to be on their own, they've gone within, done their introspection, they know how they feel, they know what they want to say, they're ready to share it. And he does kind of look shameful. Sorry, that's inappropriate, I guess. But he looks kind of shameful. Like he's barefaced after weathering quite a storm. Humility. What's going to happen to this other person? Ooh. I got a mess of cards, but I was able to catch 3. Ooh. We have somebody is going to be triggered. Holding On by Flume. Somebody is trying. Okay, so I was going to say that somebody may be finally triggered to do their own work, to do their own healing, to master their own stuff. But I feel like somebody else. Mama, I love you. You start to. Yeah, I did not hit it up. Anyway, somebody wants to hold on. Somebody is changing to be able to keep this relationship, and they're losing. They are losing. They're losing. They can't do it. It's too hard. It's too stressful. They can't keep up with themselves. And this is a sign for them that, I mean, if this person keeps enabling this, if this person keeps, you know, entering this same cycle, they're just going to get more of the same frustration, because this person needs to take time to heal, figure out what they want, figure out what they need in their relationship, and master it. Because the 8 of Pentacles is work. So this, to me, this is like doing your own internal work. Somebody's trying to hold on to something that isn't theirs to hold on to. And it's not that the person doesn't care for them, or the divine masculine doesn't care for them. That's not what it is. But you can love somebody and know that they're not healthy for you. That's what a karmic is. It's somebody that hurts instead of helps. They're tough lessons. I can't let you get away. This person wants to hold on for the wrong reasons. But I'm talking specifically about this Queen of Wands, about this, you know, maybe they're beautiful, maybe they're amazing in bed or whatever. I don't know. But I feel like this divine masculine has outgrown that. It no longer serves him. And that's part of what this Eight of Cups, cut your losses. You can't get what's for you until you become who you're supposed to be. The only way you can do that is by going in and figuring out what you want and then fighting for it. And it's not until then, it's not until you initiate that process that you can get everything that's meant for you. And what's meant for you won't make you feel like this. And if it does, it's probably another one of these. So I think that's all I got. That was fun. I love doing this. But I hope you got to hear some of the music. There's a nice little rain patter on the roof. But yeah, I hope this helps somebody. I hope somebody resonates with some of this. That's all.